Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week number 1 of Football Frenzy, brought to you by West Virginia University at Parkersburg. Football is back in the Mid-Ohio Valley as the regular season kicked off in the state of Ohio. Such a refreshing time of the year in sports. I'm Josiah Schuneman, and I'm joined alongside by Griffin Albright for the first time on Football Frenzy. Griffin, welcome to Frenzy. How does it feel to be on the show?
It feels great finally to be up here with you. You know, I was here last year, last few weeks of the regular season, got to see you behind the scenes. Now getting to be up here at the desk is really awesome, so I'm really looking forward to it. Great time to be a sports fan. We're getting into the football season now. So much hope, so much anticipation for these teams, for everyone going into these seasons. Who are going to be state title contenders? Who's ready to make a huge jump in 2025? Who's going to surprise us all? All those questions will be answered as the season goes on.
Well, we begin tonight with the Waterford Wildcats, who once again have high expectations going into this year, which is always the case with their program. They return just 5 seniors, but the team expects to make some noise this year, starting with their home opener against Vinton County tonight.
Yeah, and those two teams never faced off before, so Waterford coming off of a 9-win season, looking to be even better this year. Their opponent, Vinton County, is hoping for a bounce-back year after just 4 wins a season ago. And let's head to Waterford to see who will gain some early season momentum.
The Wildcats are playing with a chip on their shoulder after having their season ended
by Fort Fry last year. The first possession for the Cats, and it was a good one. Hayden Jones on the keeper, going to slip a couple of tackles and stay on his feet. En route to the end zone, Waterford strikes first.
Great balance there.
And Bulldogs would fire right back. Jace Moore navigating his way through traffic, and he finds Pater, making 8-6. Waterford quarterbacks doing some damage early. It's now 3rd and forever for the Cats. Jones rolls out to his left and unleashes down. With Weston Fairchild, and there's nobody left in the secondary. Fairchild runs it in, making 15-6. And more Waterford. Jones once again will call his own number on the option, bobbing and weaving through defenders for the touchdown. Waterford now up big. The Cats get the ball back, and they're going to go back to the air. Jones on the run, firing a beautiful pass to Trevin Zimmer. That's Jones's 4th TD of the first quarter. My goodness. Ensuing kickoff, Riker Hutchins boots it to Josh Montgomery, and he's got a convoy. Watch out, Montgomery up the sideline. One man to beat, and he does. Nothing but green grass ahead for number 8, as that's a house call. Vinton County trying to stay in it. It's 36-12. Now Avery Podmeyer giving Jones a break. He's on the move and finds Felder Jr. Gavin Heiner right along the sidelines. Cats now inside the 5. Got a good angle on that one there. That would lead to this. Cameron Johnson takes the handoff, lowers the shoulder, and bolts his way to the end zone. It's all Waterford. Icing on the cake here. Johnson gets it again on the handoff. This time from Jones. He's able to stretch the ball across the goal line for another score. Waterford goes up 50-12 in the second quarter, and that's the score they win by as Waterford dominates their season opener.
Wow. Over to Don Drum Stadium for the Marietta Tigers home opener against the Morgan Raiders. Picking it up in the second quarter, Jude Garber attempts a field goal, and that's through the uprights and good. Yes, that made it 10-3 Morgan with under 8 minutes left in the first half. Later in the quarter, Trent McVeigh is back to pass, but he's in trouble, and he can't escape the tackle. He is sacked by James Thomas for a loss. On the ensuing Morgan drive, Marietta's defensive line gets involved this time. Hayden Pauley tries to evade, but Zach Carver and Braden Plogger are in there for the sack. And moving to the second half, McVeigh hands it off to Kobe Alexander, who fights his way for extra yards and falls forward for the first down. Nice run from Alexander.
Man run right there.
And he lets us know right here, signaling the first down right there. Later in the drive, they go back to him on the speed option as he takes the pitch, gets a nice block downfield, runs through a defender for another first down. He is fired up after that one. But then a few plays later, McVeigh in the shotgun, and he gets leveled by Tanner Banks, and the ball is out. Devin Waggy is there for the recovery, and the Raiders take over. To the fourth quarter, McGuire Winner hands it off to Banks, who shows off the running ability this time. He breaks through a tackle, and he is in for the touchdown. They missed the PAT, but Morgan leads 16-3. And on the next drive, Marietta trying to get something going, but Kobe Alexander drops the pitch, and the ball is recovered by Carter Larrick, and Morgan takes possession. They turn that into points. Hayden Pauley rolling out to his left. He throws the pass, is tipped, and it's right into the hands of Kason Foley for the score.
Hockey assist.
Yeah, absolutely. And Morgan goes on to win it 31-16 over Marietta. Well, stay with us. There's a lot more ahead on tonight's Football Frenzy.
Including the Athens Bulldogs, who are at home taking on Logan.